Rahu in the 5th house, especially in the trine houses, 5th and 9th houses, are not bad houses for the malefic planets, especially for Rahu and Ketu. They are not the worst of houses. But the challenge with Rahu in the 5th house is because the 5th house is a tricky house, because one, it is the house of children, it is the house of romance, it is the house of what you love, what your interests are, what you truly like to do. The disadvantage because of Rahu in the 5th house could be from your material perspective, your financial situation, more than the material, the financial situation, because the 5th house is also the house of gains, but it is also monetary gains also. It is also the house of initial education. So because it gives you unusual interest, so your interest in romance will also be a little unusual. You may get attracted to those people who may not be like you, very, very different from you, different from your community, different from how your general society may look at love and affection relationship, or a love and romance relationship. You may get attracted towards unusual people, very, very different from you, maybe speaking a different language also. Secondly, it will give you very unusual likes, very, very unusual hobbies. And it may also give you a focus where sometimes you're so much engrossed in something that you like, it's very difficult to put it down. So if a child has Rahu in the 5th house, it may be very difficult for him to put his phone down if he's playing games. May be very difficult for him to put his phone down if he's got some entertainment on the phone. If he's too engrossed with his friends in the social network, it will be difficult to put the phone down. People generally who look at their phone the most, maybe with people with either Rahu in the 5th house or Rahu's aspect in the 5th house, or some relationship that Rahu is establishing with either the 5th house or the 5th lord, or maybe even conjunct with the 5th lord. So here it will give you unusual hobbies, unusual interests, but the advantage that Rahu gives you is because the 5th house is the house of presentation, performances. It can give you absolutely fantastic performances. If you're presenting in a company, if you're presenting to a board, if you're presenting to clients, if you're presenting to customers, or if you've been presenting to general society, it can make you a star. It can make you somebody who's a good presenter, a good performer. So people with Rahu in the 5th house can really do good as actors, as performers. In any performances, they can be excellent. They will also bring in something very unusual, something very unique to their performances, just like something unusual or unique in their romantic life. And so this is surely an advantage. On the flip side, Rahu may also give you children who are different from how you were brought up. So you may bring up children in a different environment. Sometimes you may have more children than the norm. So others may have 2 children, you may end up having 3 or 4 children, and you may even, for all you know, even adopt a child. Some people with Rahu in the 5th house may have their own children and yet end up with adopting the children. They may also bring up the children with very, very unusual manner. They may be extremely friendly with their children, give all sorts of flexibility to children. So the children may grow up in such an environment. They may come very different from your community, very different from your caste, very different from your religion also. That could also be because your love interest is somebody who is not from your culture. So the children will also be brought up being followers of both religions, or looking at the yin and yang of both the mother and the father, and principles and values which they bring in from both the community, both the extended families. And so a very unusual romance life, very unusual children, very unusual presenter, great performer can be Rahu in the 5th house. The disadvantage can be that sometimes the energies can all be scattered into one thing. One thing catches up your attention, you give all your focus there. And so you may miss out on the other things. And sometimes very late in life, people feel that, oh, I wasted too much effort and my time on one thing, and I missed out on the other. So if you're Rahu in the 5th house, be really careful where your interest is, where you spend most of your energies, and not to scatter your energies.